Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing and also click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. So for today's tutorial, you're going to need some of these disposable cutting boards, one of the lights, and 3 of the napkin holders. Basically, you're just going to stack the napkin holders together. We're going to use some zip ties and E6000. And I wish I had 3 more of these napkin holders, which I'm going to go and see if I can find them. I think this is something that they always have at the store, at your Dollar Tree, because I want one for both sides of my bed. I thought they came out so pretty. So what we're going to do is, again, add some E6000. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue in the middle ring. And that's just to help it stay secure while the E6000 dries. Just make sure you line up the front and then go ahead and add your zip ties. Now your zip ties are optional. You don't have to necessarily add any zip ties if you just leave it alone and let it sit for at least a good 20 minutes before you move it around so the E6000 can have time to dry. But since I'm so impatient, I went ahead and just added some zip ties so I could continue with this project. So those are 2 stacked together. Now you're going to repeat the same process, adding your 3rd napkin holder. Now, the only difference here is that I'm going to actually insert my light into my napkin holder, just like so. Now you have to make sure it all lines up, because when you add your second step, when we do the second step, it's going to, you're going to be able to tell. So go ahead and add some E6000 or Fix-All glue. Someone had told me to try JW welding for metal. I guess it's glue for metal, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to go and pick some of that up because I have some other DIYs that I want to use these napkin holders for. So I'm going to give it a try and see if it works the same or even better than the E6000 for metal. And I'll let you guys know how that works. But go ahead and use what you have, which is the E6000 or Fix-All glue. It works perfectly fine. And I'm going to again add some zip ties just to give it some time. So when I move it around, it'll still stay in place, so it'll have time to dry. And I put one in the middle and in the center, and then one in the back. Again, just adjusting it, making sure it stays in place and it's all evened out. Both of these light fixtures or sconces that I'm making today were pretty simple. They're not too hard to do, so hopefully some of my new crafters out there would take the step and make these. So okay, so I'm just adjusting it right now, making sure it's all even and it's held together. So now what we're going to do is get some of the disposable, a sheet. It comes in 2 of them, these chopping mats. So go ahead and just grab one, and all I did was just trace out my napkin holders. I just started from the bottom and then just rolled it around, got a pen or a permanent marker, whatever you have, and go ahead and line it up. And if you don't want to trace out, I use the black permanent marker, but if you don't want to use any kind of marker, just go ahead and get your box cutter or X-Acto knife and just go ahead and cut it as you would be tracing it. So you just go ahead and trace it out as best as you can and cut it out. And don't worry if it's too big still, because with our box cutter, we're just going to be cleaning up the edges. So go ahead and make sure it fits. And before you add any kind of glue or adhesive to your your chopping mat, go ahead and make sure you have the shiny side towards the outside of your sconce and the rougher part going inwards. So just go ahead and add some E6000 and hot glue to both ends of your chopping mat. And then you place your napkin holders inside and then just roll it around. Hold it for a few minutes, make sure it stays secure. And then here what I'm doing is adding some hot glue and E6000 to the outside or the ends of my napkin holders. And again, just hold it for a few minutes just to allow the hot glue to dry. And once you do that to both ends, you go ahead and let it dry, and then you can start trimming away any excess lining. Like I said, I'm hoping I can find 3 more so I can make 2 of them to put on either side as in like in lights or in lamps for my bedroom. You guys let me know down below where you'll be using yours. So you just go ahead and trim off all the excess chopping mat, like I said. Which isn't hard to do. Then you just clean up anything excess. And then once you're done, if you're going to use it basically as a lamp, you can just add a little bit of hot glue and glue your light bulb so it won't move around, and you're good to go. Just always make sure that the turning off and on button is somewhere where you can easily press the button. But I hung it, so I used some zip ties to connect my light bulb to the end of my napkin rings. And this is how it looks. So for the next light, we're going to use, again, our 2 of these light bulbs. And then one of these, I want to call them cones, half cones that you get in the toy section. They come 2 in a pack. And then these planning hanging chain hooks. And you basically just need 1. I took 2, but depending on how long you want it to hang from whatever your hook is at, is how many chains you'll need. I just used 1. But again, I spray painted 2, not knowing exactly what I would be using it. You know how much I would need. So once you spray paint it, which I'll leave the color that I use down below, go ahead and remove the little hook ring that comes with your lights. Then you grab your chain and go ahead and figure out how many links you need for each light, and then attach it to your light. And again, like I said, I just used 1 chain, but that's all preference depending on how high or low you want your lights to hang from, wherever you're hanging them from. But you go ahead and grab the links that you need, and then the last link, you just open it up with some pliers like so, and attach it to your light, and then just squeeze it together and tighten it back. Now, I didn't spray paint my light bulb fixture, but you can if you choose to. So you go ahead, and you don't even have to do this part. You can just basically like that, set it on top, and make sure your light off and on switch is towards the front or towards the back. Basically, that's preference. I put mine towards the back. Now, adding some E6000 and a little bit of hot glue, attach your light bulb to your cone. And you're done. Really simple light sconces, and they look so pretty. You guys let me know where you're going to use these if you make these. And there you go. And these lights are really bright. And here they are, both of them together. And this is the way they look where I'm placing them. And all I used to hang them were the garden plant hooks. So what do you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.